While World War I (1914 to 1918) caused staggering loss of life, an even more lethal event unfolded in 1918, the Spanish influenza pandemic. This deadly flu outbreak swept across the globe, claiming millions of lives and leaving an indelible mark on history. The global scope of the pandemic. Timeline. The pandemic began in early 1918 and lasted into 1920. Death toll. Estimated 50 to 100 million people died worldwide, far exceeding the approximate 17 million deaths of World War I. Rapid spread. The movement of soldiers and refugees during the war helped accelerate the transmission of the virus across continents. Why was it so deadly? Unusually virulent strain. The 1918 influenza virus was a H1N1 strain, unusually deadly because it triggered a cytokine storm, causing the immune system to attack the body aggressively. Affected age groups. Unlike typical flu outbreaks which mainly affect the very young and elderly, the 1918 flu killed large numbers of healthy young adults, often between ages 20 and 40. Poor medical knowledge. At the time, antibiotics did not exist, and doctors had no vaccines or antiviral treatments for influenza or its complications. War conditions. Crowded military camps, trenches and troop transports created ideal conditions for rapid viral spread. Symptoms and experience. Initial symptoms: fever, chills, fatigue, headache, and sore throat. Severe cases. Victims often developed pneumonia or respiratory failure, sometimes dying within hours or days of falling ill. Public impact. Cities were overwhelmed with the sick, hospitals were full, and funerals were often delayed or cancelled. Global impact. North America. Over 675,000 deaths in the United States. Europe. Millions died, with countries like France, Germany, and Britain struggling to manage outbreaks during post-war recovery. Asia and Africa. India alone lost 12 to 17 million people, making it one of the worst-hit regions. Social consequences. The pandemic caused economic disruption, labor shortages, and social panic worldwide. Comparison with World War I. World War I death toll. Approximately 17 million people including soldiers and civilians. 1918 flu death toll. Estimated 50 to 100 million, making it the deadliest single-year event of the 20th century. Key difference. World War I deaths were concentrated in battle zones, whereas the influenza pandemic affected virtually every country, civilian and military alike. Lessons from the 1918 pandemic. Importance of public health measures. Social distancing, quarantines and hygiene practices could slow the spread of disease. Global preparedness. Pandemics require international cooperation and medical readiness. Impact on society. Even after the pandemic, communities faced long-term economic, social, and psychological consequences. The 1918 influenza pandemic stands as a grim reminder that nature can be deadlier than war. More lives were lost to a microscopic virus in a single year than to the massive global conflict of World War I. Understanding its causes, spread, and impact remains crucial today, especially as the world faces new emerging infectious diseases.